Welcome to the webinar Driving Force with Alternative Fuels by Group-GTS. I'm Katrin de Vogt, your moderator. Today's topic, the road to zero emissions. Technologies for making the logistics industry have advanced significantly, but they are not yet fully optimized. Many challenges remain to be tackled. Group-GTS has developed a practical strategy with effective tips. On the agenda today, first, Nick Sterks of the Dedicated Solutions and Sustainability Unit will set the scene in a short video. After that, Rolling Stock Fleet Manager Bart Verbeek and Sustainability Manager Tom Pochet will bring valuable insights to the table. Should you have any questions during this webinar, please ask them through the chat. They will be answered by the sustainability team after the webinar. Here we go.
Just as health and safety was a hot item 15 years ago and is now structurally integrated into just about every company, sustainability has been a hot topic for about 5 years. As carriers, we are also mainly looked to for greening and reducing CO2 emissions. Although the past 2 years were rather non-committal and the possibilities for strong greening were also rather limited, we are now gradually gaining momentum. Companies that are not yet structurally engaged in sustainable business will soon run into problems. For example, there is a CSRD compliant reporting that will become mandatory for many companies from 2026. In addition, large companies must also submit a sustainability report in addition to their annual financial report. This report must contain more than just qualitative and quantitative KPIs. You will also be required to link objectives to this, and your company will be evaluated on that basis. There is good and bad news. The technologies for greening are now much further along than 5 years ago, but not all of them are fully up to scratch yet. There is no discussion about the fact that we all have to go green. But greening has a cost in 95% of cases, and consumers are not always willing to pay more for this. What is striking is that every customer works at a different speed and a different approach, a difficult balancing act. At Group-GTS, we will be strongly committed to HVO diesel in the coming years. More than likely, this will turn to electric driving or driving on hydrogen in the next few years. What we do expect is that several solutions will be needed. And we have already found those solutions. For example, a fifth of our trucks were already running on HVO diesel in 2023, and since this year, 2024, we already have 2 electric Terber trucks driving around at 2 dedicated customers of ours. Our efforts were also recognized at the Transport and Media Awards, where we were rewarded with the Green Truck of the Year Award 2024. How did we manage that? By making the renewal of our fleet a responsibility, not only of fleet managers and decision makers, but also of the finance department, sustainability managers, and even more stakeholders within our transport company. Are you now thinking, that's too complex? No, not at all. It can be tackled.
Welcome Bart, Tom. Let's bring some questions into this discussion, starting with the overarching sustainability strategy. First question, how is Group-GTS shaping its sustainable vision?
We already did a lot concerning the topic of sustainability, but I believe the real start was in 2021. Firstly, we joined the Focus Charter for Sustainable Business. This allowed us to implement sustainability in a structured way without a firm. How does it work? Each year, you have to do at least 10 goals within the topic of sustainability, and you have to link them to the Sustainability Development Goals of the United Nations. Preferably, you choose the one which are most close to your core business. For us, this is SDG 13, which is climate action. These actions are judged by an independent jury, and you get rewarded by a certificate by UNITAR, which is part of the United Nations. We are already now in our 4th year, and we are proudly that we can announce ourselves as a pioneer. Next on the agenda is to become a champion. Therefore, we will do a project around sustainable fuels. In 2021, in collaboration with our sustainability partner Greenfish, we conducted a strategical exercise. Through a series of workshops within Group-GTS, we laid the foundation for our current sustainability strategy. On the one hand, we produced a greenhouse gas assessment report and reduction roadmap, which you can find completely on our website, where we have calculated our CO2 emissions for the first time, and we set out a strategy for CO2 neutral transport. Secondly, we have do a beautiful map, which you can find all over Group-GTS on the walls, where we state our 3 mission statements. On these statements, we have linked 8 different long-term goals, and these goals are supported by yearly programs with more than 20 goals, which are nicely spread out all over Group-GTS to get everyone on board of the Group-GTS sustainability strategy. These 3 mission statements are on our way to carbon neutrality. As a logistics provider, this is essential for us. Europe wants to be the first CO2 neutral continent by 2050. We transport happiness is the second one. While the planet is important, the people are even more important, and they have to feel happy and safe at Group-GTS. While technology is available, in the end, it's still the people who will have to make the difference. And finally, empowering partnerships. This is something that Group-GTS cannot tackle on its own. We will need our suppliers, our clients, and all our stakeholders to get involved in this. And this is why we organize this webinar like today. It's to reach out to all these people to work together on this common topic. With that said, let's move on to the topic of the day. We have to point out that our influence on the whole process is not unlimited. We're just a small part of the supply chain, so we cannot control everything. Therefore, we have to look together with the client. We could have to explore the possibility to best align with the client's identity and with the current situation.
Interesting. I have another question for you guys. What can we do with alternative fuels?
Everyone is talking about electric and hydrogen trucks, but there is more available. At Group-GTS, our green menu offers a wide range of possibilities. And combinations may vary. We adapt our solutions to perfectly meet the customer's needs. A good approach is to thoroughly examine, research, test each technology before we invest. That ensures that our offerings will be well received. But several parameters or variables needs to be taken into account, like the percentage of greening. Not every method is equally efficient, and the cost. Everything is more expensive than the diesel truck as we know it today. Also, the best available technology needs to be taken in account, tailored to the demand. But time doesn't stand still and the clock is ticking. The ETS2 directive, where emissions on diesel fuel will make it more expensive in the future. Also, upcoming tax shifts and the CSRD reporting. As you can see, it's time to act. Remaining idle will cost time in the future, will cost money in the future. Currently, HVO is our most popular choice at Group-GTS. Our first green trucks hit the road in 2019, running on LNG. Today, they still operate, but the fuel evolved to a more bio-LNG. Looking at the current costs across the available options, with the diesel truck as a benchmark, over 5 years, 100,000 kilometers a year, the additional cost of HVO is very low, less than 10%, while achieving up to 90% of reduction in emissions. That's very good. LNG has also a low additional cost, but offers a much smaller greening factor. Very important. And additionally, LNG has some drawbacks. Multi-year contracts, reduced range, and a smaller network of refueling stations. Unfortunately, the European and Flemish governments do not recognize these CO2-saving technologies and offer no incentives for investment. Also, there is no road tax reductions or subsidies provided. This lack of support is going to become a bigger issue in the future, but for now, these are excellent alternatives to reduce emissions immediately.
Okay, it's tempting to jump to more expensive options, as often featured in the news. But what do they actually entail?
Yeah, the electric and hydrogen trucks are making headlines, but they're still very rare on the European roads. This is understandable, as they require significant preparation, solid planning, and collaboration with the various stakeholders, and the cost is also a major factor. Electric trucks cost about twice as much as conventional trucks, and they come with numerous challenges like range, charging infrastructure, on-road charging costs, long-term commitments. Moreover, these trucks are not fully developed yet, and the legislation has yet to catch up. For instance, the additional battery weight is only partially compensated by European legislations, resulting in a significantly lower maximum payload. However, as mentioned before, every case is different, and often maximum payload or range are not obstacles in a project.
And what about hydrogen?
We haven't landed on hydrogen yet. Hydrogen trucks remain a costly option. Hydrogen itself is still expensive, and truly sustainable hydrogen solutions are not yet widely available. At this very moment, it's even more expensive than EV, but I strongly believe that will change soon. Group-GTS also holds a seat in the task force, the Belgian task force H2 in logistics. And even within that group of like-minded, we are talking about 2028 to see the first trucks on the road. Hydrogen will become very important in the near future. For now, with the current state of resources and technologies at our disposal, we're still at the dawn of the day. Many game changers are yet to come, and it's all on all fronts. The industry, research centers, and universities are tirelessly working on searching for that eureka moment.
Okay. It's clear that the potential is significant, although there are challenges to address. Tom, could you maybe explain where Group-GTS stands in its journey towards more sustainable transport?
Of course. We now know that it's neither cheap or easy, but we want to show you there's a solution for every challenge. Let's bring out two cases to the table. Both are diverse, both contribute to greening, and both in need of a different approach and technology. First on the table, HVO. What was HVO again? HVO is a hydrotreated vegetable oil. It's a fuel made from sustainable sources, mainly plant-based and animal-based residues, which have been treated by hydrogen. For us Belgians, the easiest example is, of course, the fried oil from our French fries, or should I say Belgian fries, but that's another discussion. The advantages of the HVO for us is that we can switch easily between the diesel and the HVO. There is just no operational limitation for us. At this moment, more than 30% of our trucks are already running on HVO, so we can use it for one lane, for all lanes of a client. It doesn't matter, we can just plug and play. How does it work? We purchase the HVO based on the calculating consumption of a CO2 calculator. This one is directly linked to our operational systems. And I hear the question coming, will we have enough HVO? Yes, we are. We are confident because we are an early adopter and our fuel supplier has guaranteed us an unlimited supply. The liters are purchased exclusively for this client. And each year, he will receive official documents on his name stating the number of HVO that we have ordered for him and the specific type of this HVO. Our supplier is also audited by the government to ensure compliance. Additionally, we will provide to you, but not only to an HVO client, a yearly overview of all your lanes, your kilometers driven, and your CO2 emissions per period and per lane. To summarize, HVO, it can be implemented tomorrow, and if you want deposits next week, it's no problem at all. It doesn't involve a long or complex contract, and it comes with a minimal additional cost, but it will save you up to 90% of CO2 emissions. For us, as Group-GTS, we see HVO as the most important sustainable fuel in the near future.
And a second case?
Case 2 is the electric yard tractor. It's a truck specifically designed to move trailers and chassis at a scorching pace on logistics sites. We've had the opportunity to implement this solution twice at large logistics clients. Each project is unique, and every scale-up comes with its share of complexities and challenges. At first glance, it seems very straightforward. A yard tractor doesn't leave the site, so only one charging station is needed. Electricity is available everywhere, right? However, the necessary power supply isn't always present. Additionally, registering the vehicle can bring its own set of hurdles. After 2 years of close collaboration with the end customer, the logistics partner, and the yard tractor supplier, we can now confidently say that our first EV tractors are running flawlessly. We also learned that the technology behind these vehicles evolves rapidly. The newer generation EVs are significantly better than their predecessors. The benefits are the customer manages the energy source and associated costs. And full visibility, both in terms of operations, environmental aspect, as a commercial aspect. The EV yard tractors stand out amongst their biodiesel counterparts. And in addition to zero emissions, EV tractors are exceptionally quiet. This is a project that left everybody smiling.
I couldn't agree more with you, Bart. Both alternative fuels works and we can use them for multiple clients. But this year we want to take things a step further. We want to have our first long-haul electric vehicle on the road. Although we believe that it's still too early to do this on a large scale, I think this is the necessary next step. We can use already experience gained from the electric yard tractor, and we can add on the extra challenges which come with long-haul electric vehicles, such as en route charging, battery capacity, combining multi-lanes, and other factors. This is a critical step for a serious scale-up and building a serious electric fleet as we move towards 2030. I all warmly invite you for this journey.
We've already heard lots of interesting ideas, but what else can we do besides HVO and fleet electrification?
The EcoCombi, also known as the super truck. With a capacity of 1.5 full truckload per truck, it means essentially that two EcoCombis can replace 3 regular trucks, which means you eliminate 1 truck on the road. The ideal environment for the EcoCombi is shuttling between 2 hubs, always fully loaded, both directions. At Group-GTS, our first EcoCombi is already operational and approved for several key routes in the Netherlands and Belgium.
Multimodal, not always easy to implement as we are only primarily responsible for a small part, namely the road part. However, we always consider it in our search to the most sustainable solution. And so each week we transport both container as conventional cargo by rail or road within Europe. Sometimes these solutions are developed in collaboration with our customers, while others are just driven by operational optimization. But neither way, for this we always rely on a strong network of trusted partners.
Aerodynamic trucks and trailers. This may sound futuristic, but it's not. A standard truck-trailer combination is not exactly known for its streamlined design. So, however, even small adjustment made by manufacturers can lead to a lower fuel consumption. Our DAF XJ, with its redesigned, longer and larger shape, is significantly more aerodynamic than its predecessor. This improvement was made possible thanks to the changes in the European legislations. Historically, the transport industry has operated under very tight constraints to prevent unfair competition. But the result is clear. We have achieved a 10% reduction in fuel consumption.
Implementation of AI or autonomous driving. To be honest, this isn't something that we see in the near future for Group-GTS, but of course we are keeping a close eye on the developments. We believe that AI will be first to integrate in planning systems because we think computers are smarter than humans. But we are not worried. People will still be very necessary. However, we will deploy them more smartly. For instance, we are currently implementing a new planning system, and our drivers are helped by next driver technology to drive more safely and more ecologically. To conclude, there is no one-size-fits-all solution which we can apply everywhere, but that's okay. That makes it more interesting for us. So we invite everybody to look together with us case by case what the best possibilities is. We can offer a big menu with HVO, an electric truck, a hydrogen truck, eco-combi or multimodal solutions, or a combination of all of that. To make this even more tangible and visible, we're also heavily investing in visualization and reporting. Last year, we published our first sustainability report, and we also launched our own CO2 calculator. This year, we will prepare for our first CSRD compliant report.
Our estimation is that we won't immediately bid farewell to our diesel truck. This will likely happen around 2040. Starting this year, we will gradually start building our fleet of electric and hydrogen trucks with the goal of achieving CO2 neutral operations by 2050.
Thank you, guys. We've certainly gained new insights. So this is the end of the webinar. I hope that the insights are valuable for your company as well. The questions you have sent us to the chat will be answered by the sustainability team after this webinar. And should you need further information in the near future, please contact Tom Pochet. Group-GTS thanks you for attending. We look forward to seeing you next time.